like any one coherent policy position that Trump has expanded on in the last 2 months.
So out of Theo
Exactly. That's it.
He didn't have one sentence in 9 hours.
On all of the critical issues that the American people are demanding. You know, if you go to Kamala Harris's website, what do you find? You know, you find advertisements for, you know, for basically brand clothing and you know, mugs, coffee mugs, and so on. You will not find her policies. And likewise, in their public statements and in their debates, we are not seeing coherent policies, and they're not being debated. Why? Because they're both being funded by the billionaires, by the oligarchs, by the upper 1%, and you have the parties enforcing that. If you saw the footage from the DNC, from the floor of the DNC, you saw the ring of corporate suites up at the top costing anywhere from $500,000 to $5 million. That is the power in the House, both for the Democrats and the Republicans. That is why we badly need to open up this political process.
I'm all for third parties, and I'm definitely against the duopoly. I am against the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. I'm against their dominance and how things work with this binary thing of, you know, it's either Republicans or Democrats. However, opening it up is not the solution. That's what we should do, but a lot more than that, because simply opening it up to other parties, like let's say, for example, the Green Party got their fair share, which I don't think they did. I don't think any third party does. That doesn't fix the problem, right? Because now you open up the opportunity for maybe foreign interests. I mean, well, APAC, she would say, and that is a big problem. But why is it that a third party can't be compromised in the same way that the Democratic Party and the Republican Party are? In fact, the very same people who are donating to those parties could just start funneling money to these third parties, right? And then they could do it in sort of clever ways where you don't actually know it. So they can pretend like we're just getting small dollar donations, while behind the scenes, that's not really what it is. What we really need to do, more important than, you know, oh, we need a third party and open it up. What we first need to do is pull the money out of politics, right? Pull away the mechanisms where these corporations and outside interests have the ability to buy our politicians. Because as long as they can buy our politicians, it doesn't matter whether it's a Green Party or the People's Party or Republican Party, Democratic Party. I have 100 parties, but if they're all controlled by outside interest and dark money, what's the difference?
And that is what the American people are demanding. You know, it's the American people who are locked out of this discussion in locking out other candidates who are not bought and paid for.
That was 100% false. Either she's lying or she's incompetent, or maybe a little bit of both. I haven't really spoken about Jill Stein previously. I don't really know much about her. I know that Brianna Joy Gray, I believe, voted for her in the past. I believe she is respected by some people in the progressive, potentially far left as well. And for the record, I see the debate between AOC going after Stein. And listen, man, I ain't no fan of AOC either. AOC ran on a lot of tough talk. She started with a lot of tough talk, and now she just seems to be a, you know, establishment Democrat sort of surrogate, right? She is there as a sheep herder, because people like Pelosi can't really sort of get certain people in terms of progressives, right? They can see her, she's a corporate Democrat. So you have these people who are like, oh, we're progressives, but really and truly, they're not really a big opposition to the corporate Democrats. So like, what is really the purpose of them? Some would say it's better that we have them than we don't. But I would say if they weren't there, the corporate Democrats would have to deliver more, right? Because they wouldn't have at least this illusion of like, you know, okay, you don't like us, but there are progressives that you do like. If they weren't any progressives at all, if it was just corporate Democrats, they couldn't win any elections like that without delivering more. So we might actually get more with just corporate Democrats than we do with this false illusion of the supposed progressive caucus. But what I do know 100% is what she just said is completely false. And it's interesting that that's a right-wing talking point. Now, I'm going to show you the truth, exposing what she said is completely false. Before I do that, I want to let you know just how bad things are. I don't like Kamala Harris. I don't trust Kamala Harris. I don't like politicians. I think American politicians are corrupt. It's not about party. The fact that the Republican Party is more corrupt than the Democratic Party doesn't change the fact that the Democratic Party is corrupt as well. And they love to do their bait and switch where they run on progressive policies. Then when they get elected, it's a bunch of excuses or they don't want to talk about them. So I have no illusions about the Democratic Party or Kamala Harris is coming to save us. I could give a rat's ass of what her skin color is or her gender. And I am Jamaican, but I don't care. Right? What I care about is my fellow Americans. I care about my country. I care about moving the country forward. And I don't think that Kamala Harris is the one to do that. Certainly, the alternative is going backwards under Donald Trump. So I would support Kamala Harris in a heartbeat over the alternative. However, I have no illusions about what she's going to deliver. She is a stopgap to stop us from going backwards. in the opposite direction of the things that Jill Stein runs on and others in the left champion, right? That is what I know to be the truth. But let's examine what she said, this right-wing talking point that Kamala Harris is running on nothing. And I want to let you know, again, as someone who doesn't like Kamala Harris, things are so bad that I have to be the one defending Kamala Harris because my ideology is truth, right? I'm not in a tribe. I'm not here to make one side look better than the other or whatever it is. I'm here to deal in the truth, right? So liberal media like CNN and MSNBC, they've been really bad on Kamala Harris as well. Like initially, she ran around the country talking about her policies. Right-wing media, oh, what's her policy? What are her policies? She's saying it all over the country, but somehow they don't know it. But then CNN and MSNBC did the same damn thing. And you had breaking points. Oh, what are her policies? What are her policies? Right? All over the country, repeating it over and over again. And somehow, me as a person who I don't do this as a living, I don't make any money, these professionals are less aware of what she's been saying than I am. Then she finally releases her policies. And I see a bunch of people in liberal media and breaking points acting like, oh, now we know the policies. And then the right-wing media comes up with this distorted. And this is how you know how in terms of the reality, right? If Kamala Harris was as bad as those attacking her say she is, they wouldn't have to lie about her position. They don't have to pretend like she's running on nothing. She's got no policy. She's running on vibes when she's been saying it all over the country. Then she releases it on her website. And now we have Jill Stein coming, on the website, all you see is her selling stuff and she has no policies. Like how many times does she have to tell her policies? She's all over the country saying it. Now she puts it on the website. At first, it was not on the website. People called it out. I looked into it. I was like, oh, okay, they're telling the truth. Her policies aren't on her website. Then I realized, wait a minute, she just started this campaign. This was like out of the blue. Biden drops out. Like to come up with a whole policy, she would need time for that. So it made sense that the website didn't originally have a policy, but they try to make that a scandal, right? But now after she's been speaking about it, she released it, she's done interviews, and now the policies are on her website. Here's Jill Stein. Oh, she's running on no policies. What? Let's take a look at the facts. All right, so if you go to KamalaHarris.com, this is what you see. She's asking for donations. I suppose if I want to be a bad faith actor, and again, I want you to realize I don't like Kamala Harris. I think it's sad that she's the option. It's much better than having Joe Biden as the option, far better than having Donald Trump as the option. But it's sad that she's the option because I don't think she's going to do much and the country needs a lot. And if she doesn't deliver, we're going to see Trump again, or if he's not in prison, which I don't think he's going to prison, or somebody much worse than Trump. Because Trump has opened Pandora's box, realizing how you can manipulate people and get away with it and do whatever you want to do. So someone much more slick than Trump is going to come next if she doesn't deliver. So you think things are bad now. If she doesn't deliver, things are going to be far worse. So that's my perspective. However, I'm focused on the truth, right? But if I wanted to be bad faith and I just wanted to bash Kamala because it's profitable or whatever it is, then I see store is the first link on the menu here. I could go to the store and I could say, oh, what's she selling? Oh, yes, she can, t-shirts and blah, 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 blah. And I can go through this and comment about the cost of the things or what they say and make funny jokes. And I can deceive people. Oh, this is all it is, a money thing. And this, okay. Or if I'm a good faith actor and I want to know what her policies are, and I, for some reason, haven't listened to any of her rallies, haven't listened to her talk about her policies, then I would go to her website, go to the menu, and I'd click on issues. Everyone's talking about, what are issues? Oh, she's nothing on nothing on vibe. I'll go to her website, click on the button that says issues, and see what it says. A new way forward. Got a little paragraph there. Then we got build an opportunity economy and lower costs for families. So they're going into some details here. Cut taxes for middle-class families. So they're giving you dollar amounts. There's details of a specific policy as far as cutting taxes. Talking about making rent affordable and how homeownership affordable. Again, there's specifics in here, dollar amounts, up to $25,000. Now, if I'm a good faith actor and I want to critique Kamala Harris, because for example, if I were a politician, first of all, I wouldn't be challenging Kamala Harris at this point because it's too late in the game and Trump is the alternative. But in the primary, you best believe, no matter how I'm doing in my race, I will be attacking whoever is on the Democratic ticket. If it was Joe Biden, I'd be going after him. If it was Kamala, I would have been going after her. But you know how I'd be going after her? Not going on TV and saying, oh, she's not running any policies. No, I wouldn't be spreading misinformation. I would actually look at what her policies are and I would challenge them. And the most obvious challenge that I'd offer to her is that she's not going to actually deliver on these things, right? That would be my estimation, but that would be the angle. But the bottom line is, I would focus on the truth about Kamala Harris rather than lying and putting out misinformation about her. She's running on vibes and she doesn't have any policy. What are her policies? I don't know what her policies are. And she wants to do price controls. She's not talking, she's not said anything about price controls, and she's been very clear about her policies, as opposed to Donald Trump, who's just running on, oh, I'm going to make everything great. I'm going to fix everything. We're going to make America great again. It's going to be better than you've ever seen before. And everything's going to be, and we're not going to have any deficit. And I'm going to fix the whole country in one day. That's what he's running on. She's running on dollar amount specific policies addressing core issues that Americans care about, right? Issues that supposedly Jill Stein cares about, but yet for some reason she wants to spread out there, oh, she doesn't have any policies, right? You see the difference? A good faith attack on you talking the good stuff, but she's not going to deliver, versus a bad faith attack saying she's not running anything when she is. She's got this stuff for entrepreneurs. So she has policies about helping small businesses, talking about bringing down costs, and you will see nothing about price controls in there. And again, why, if her policies are so bad, why aren't people attacking her actual policies? Why do they have to pretend like she's saying stuff that she isn't? Think about that for a second. You may not like her policies, right? But understand that the people who agree with you don't actually agree with you because they're not actually challenging her policies. They're giving you a straw man, pretending that she said stuff that she doesn't say so that they can attack them, because price controls has a bad past, right? So if you pretend she's saying price controls, that's a way to attack her. But wait a minute, why do that if her policies were actually bad? Wouldn't you just talk about the bad policies? Just think about that for a second. So she's talking about healthcare in here, Affordable Healthcare Act. So I mean, if you really care about her policies and want to know what she's running on, she's written it on the website, right? She needed time to put it together. Now she's put it together. Now it's on here. Why is it that we still insist, right? I don't know if liberal media is still doing it, but why is it so many actors, right-wing media, liberal media, Green Party representative, why does everyone keep using this talking point and she's running on nothing instead of the reality of, okay, you're talking a good talk, but are you going to deliver, right? Why can't we have an actual conversation about reality? Why do we have to be arguing about a distortion of reality? And it doesn't matter which side it's coming from, left-wing, right-wing, corporate, independent. Why is the reality in the United States so distorted for some reason? If we want to talk about Kamala Harris and what's her policies, well, they're on the website, even though no one seems to want to read it and actually discuss what she's actually running on, right? Or talk about the actual problem, which is that, you know, will she actually deliver, right? But what about Donald Trump, right? Donald Trump, I mean, she's been going around the country talking about the policies in specific, you know, talking about specific policies, dollar amounts, addressing specific issues, right? While Donald Trump is talking about sharks and toilet flushes and Hannibal Lecter and oh, they're gonna ruin the country and the country is gonna burn and this country is a shithole country. He didn't say that, but that's how he talks, right? Oh, the country is horrible and it's falling apart, and if we don't win, that's gonna be the end of America. Right? Meanwhile, Kamala Harris, again, talking about specific policies. Now she's written them on her website, but yet we still are insisting on, oh, she's running on nothing. What is Trump running on? Here's his website, Trump Vance. Okay, I will never stop fighting for you, blah, blah, blah. Donation stuff, different check boxes here. You can see what it says on the screen. What are his policies? Where's the policies? Where's the policies? I just went to Kamala Harris's website. We saw the policies, many policies listed in detail with dollar amounts, very, very specific about what she's running on. What exactly is Donald Trump running on? Why is it in America? This is how the discourse goes, right? Where you have Kamala, who's specific and putting out policies, right? Donald Trump just fear-mongering. But yet the conversation is about Kamala Harris, she's running on vibe. Oh, Kamala Harris this and Kamala Harris that and Kamala Harris this. Like, what? If this country wasn't an insane asylum, the conversation would be on what are Trump's policies? What is Trump running on? And the fact that he was asked to mention a specific policy, I think regarding healthcare or something like that, and then he says nothing about a policy, just rambles and, oh, well, this is Hannibal Lecter, blah, 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 sharks and fishes and whatever. Like, what is wrong with America that we're so disconnected from reality? Well, I think I've shown you the answer, because we have people like Jill Stein that are misinforming people. People like the Piers Morgan who misinform people. We have Fox News and Tim Pool and Ben Shapiro misinforming people. We have people like Brian Tyler Cohen. Everything good about the Democrats and how great they are. Meanwhile, silent on the issues with the Democrats. which allows the Democrats to underperform, which brings us things like Donald Trump. So what's wrong with America? Why does America seem so insane? Why are we so distorted from reality? It's because this country is infested with propaganda and opportunists and grifters. And this is the social media generation. It's all about the algorithm. It's all about trying to get attention and whatever it is. And I know the big problem with the left right now is they got no strong leaders. I can't think of anyone on the left that's a strong leader. All I see is a bunch of grifters. I see, progressives and the far left pushing for clowns. I mean, people like Cornel West, Jill Stein. I don't know much about her, but look at what she's saying right now. I mean, how is she a serious candidate when she's not even aware of her opponent's positions? You're running against Kamala Harris and you don't know what her positions are, or you're pretending not to know. So either she's incompetent or dishonest. You pick it, right? Cornel West, what's he running on? Right now he's trying to get the anti-vaxxer crowd. We got RFK Jr. I mean, it's just an absolute disaster. I mean, the right wing is even worse. I mean, they literally have a venture capitalist and a billionaire. I mean, could the ticket be more disconnected from, regular Americans that are struggling to survive, struggling with healthcare, struggling with housing issues? And this is what the Republican Party has to present: a venture capitalist and a billionaire, as if these people care about regular Americans, or even if they cared, if they could even understand what it's like to be a regular American. Now, J.D. Vance, you could go back into history and you could say, okay, Donald Trump, absolutely not. But even with J.D. Vance, he's been so far removed and so disconnected from that life in terms of where he's at now. So I don't know how much in touch he'll be with normal Americans. Now, Tim Walz, I could definitely see. Even Kamala Harris, I could definitely see understanding what it's like to be just a regular American. So at least the left has candidates that there's some level of you could see how it could make sense. But on the right, it's just cartoonish. I mean, it's the guy. I would use an analogy. It's the guy running down the block, sweating with the ski mask and a duffel bag, looking over his shoulder, and a bank alarm is going off. And then I have a bunch of people, conservatives, telling me that guy's coming from the gym. He's not doing anything wrong. I mean, it's just so obvious. You got one guy with literally Nixon tattoo on his back. I mean, there's just so many creepy people that are being propped up on the right. I mean, you have Kanye West with his daughter going to a birthday party with eating food off of a naked woman's body, talking about he loves Hitler. You have Tucker Carlson, a major right-wing icon, platforming somebody who is like a Nazi apologist. I mean, it's just insane. You have I mean, the guy's a freaking weirdo, right? And then they replace him with another weirdo. You have people like Russell Brand, who has cult written all over his face. And we have credible accusations of sexual assault with this guy. And that seems to be a big theme in terms of right-wing icons. Because look at the next guy that they're propping up, which is Andrew Tate, who now basically we found out that he was basically grooming a young child. One of his original girlfriends he was dating when I think she was like 15 years old. Credible accusations we have of this, right? We got Russell Brand doing this fake Christian thing, Tucker Carlson doing this fake Christian thing, a whole bunch of them with these crosses and pretending to be Christians, pretending to be regular Americans, when they're absolutely not. I mean, Russell Brand, in this case, is not even an American. I mean, look at the whole five. They're all so sarcastic and it's just so unserious. I mean, talking about very serious issues, all big joke to them. Oh, God, what are our policies coming? And you know what? I put air out of my wife's car, and that's how we met. This is the Debate Me channel. Debate Me comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell. Be well.